How to cook a steak in the solar cooker. All right, the ingredients. First of all, we've got half of a ribeye steak. We have some wild rosemary that I found on Fort McCree yesterday. We have a couple of bolete mushrooms. These happen to be Old Man of the Woods. They look a little rough, but it's only because I had to keep them in my pocket until I got back. We have some onion, lime, garlic, salt, and of course, cayenne pepper. It takes about 20 or 30 minutes to prep the meal, so I like to go ahead and let the solar cooker start warming up. I set it up and face it right into the sun. Once you've got her set up into the sun, if you have one with a thermometer on it, you can come over and take a look at it. Like right now, it's at 100 degrees. That's the lowest that it goes. We're looking at it to be between 150 or higher by the time we get ready to put our food into it. Now, I've got the solar cooker set up. It's been warming up for 7 or 8 minutes. I forgot to mention olive oil earlier. I use almost only olive oil or coconut oil. The first thing that I've prepped is the onions. For me, I like them soft and tender, so they take a little bit longer to cook and get nice and tender than the steak, because I like a good medium rare steak. And so I've gone ahead and cut up the onions. I've cut up the garlic, so I'm going to put a little bit of this garlic inside of here. Give it a little bit of squeeze of lime, just a little. It's just a nice little zest. I'm going to use a little bit of this rosemary that we found yesterday and just pull it off the stem and spread it around in here. The only thing it's going to need after this is a little bit of salt and olive oil. This Baja Gold happens to be my favorite salt. It is just loaded down with minerals. It is so good for you. It doesn't have iodine and a whole bunch of other stuff in it. When you read the ingredients, it literally says 100% unrefined sea salt, solar dehydrated, contains no additives or additional ingredients. And that's about as pure as you can get. So a nice little pinch of salt. A little dash of olive oil. And now that's the first one that will go into the solar cooker, probably in about 15 minutes. Once it gets to about 150 degrees, I'll start putting some of these in. Now, how do you handle these wild mushrooms whenever you find them? As I said earlier, you'll notice that these, they kind of look black, but it's just the nature of this particular type of mushroom. I literally had it in my pocket, and the sweat and everything from me walking around for probably 3 hours with these in my pocket just changed the color slightly. You can still see where it's kind of tan around this one where no sweat got to it. It's still a wonderful, delicious mushroom. You just dust them or blow them off real good. I don't like to wash them. Just make sure that they're super clean. I did cut the ends off of them to get more of the dirt off the bottom. We'll give these a nice little cut. That'll go right on top of our steak. So with the steak, I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and put it in the bottom of this pan. It's a nice little covering. I'm going to take the steak, put it right into there. I saved a little bit of the onions too, by the way, from this batch. That way they'll soak up a little bit of the flavor from the meat. They won't be as tender as these other ones, but they'll still be really good. So the next thing I'm going to do is put a little seasoning on this thing. Y'all, I'm almost out of salt. I just ordered 5 more pounds of this stuff. onions. We're gonna basically make a little layer. Take some of this cayenne pepper, sprinkle a good little bit on there. Just depends on your flavoring. A little bit of rosemary. Squeeze a lime. And then our mushrooms on top. So again, the onions will go on first. I like them to cook a little bit longer and be nice and tender. The mushrooms are already really tender. The steak, I like mine medium rare, as I said earlier, so it's only got to get to about 165 for 10 minutes or so. You can cook to your preference, whatever you like. It just happens to be the way that I like mine. Well, that didn't take long. I believe she's ready for those onions. Now that will bring down the ambient temperature just a little bit, but in about maybe 20 more minutes I'll put in that steak. Ah, what a beautiful day. These onions have been in there for about 20 minutes. It looks like it's bumping about 220 degrees. Look at that. Let's go ahead and add this steak and mushrooms. We'll give it about 20 minutes and check it again. That steak has been cooking for 20 minutes at approximately 200. Got some mitts in a tray because these are going to be hot when they come out. And I also have a meat thermometer. We're going to check and see if that steak's at 165. Almost there. We're going to put her back in for just a couple more minutes. All right, friends, let's try it again. Come on, girl. Ah, there we go. Now let's see how it tastes. Inquiring minds want to know. It looks delicious. So how does it taste? Let's find out. It looks right. Oh wow, that's really good. Now how about these mushrooms? Fantastic. What a meal. And who knew you could cook something like this in a solar cooker?